Yes.
So, so we are going to study the topic called A Letter to God, right?
Yeah.
So, have you read this chapter, or this chapter is taught in your school or not?
Just I just got this little idea that means how the fields are just destroyed. Means crops are destroyed due to the change in the climate.
Okay. So let me point out, we are going to discuss the kind of a topic which is moral based and simply indicating about a person, right, whose constant belief to what constant belief or called as a exceptional belief, right, or extreme belief, right, believe on something or somebody which he feels like help him in his needy time or in his uh, problems. Now, I'm going to discuss the topic called as a letter to God. What the title suggests. It's somehow creating a kind of a thought in our mind that how somebody writes a letter to God, even means what is the existence of the God, whether means God is the name of a person, or is it the God whom we or the Indians or Hindu or maybe Christian or maybe different religions people means uh, consider that the spiritual existence of somebody. Is it so? So a letter to God is a topic that gives us the idea about whom, idea about belief, or called as a means illiteracy, belief and illiteracy. What is that belief and illiteracy? Now, obviously, when we are talking about a letter to God, means somebody has written a letter and sent it to God, right? How he will
Is it like belief and faith?
faith, believe. When you are saying that faith or belief, and faith or believe on whom? Faith or believe on God.
God.
Second is called as a means the we all have a faith or belief towards the God, but at the same time we do not have a concept like what means whatever our problem we convey before the God, and also we pray, we means show our emotion by doing the prayer, but it is something a kind of a topic that shows the extreme level of belief or faith. That's called as a even the situation creates where the person writes a letter to God. It means now you have a kind of a thought like how come that letter will reach to God, and whose means who obviously somebody posted the letter, but who actually take that letter to God? That is the question, right or not? So, and by the way, whether that letter reached to God or not, or whatever the demands or called as a request or called as a means of problems that you convey through letters or later, whether that later reply has been reached to the person or not. So a couple of questions comes to the mind. On the basis of that, this topic is made, which is written by G.L. Fuentes, or called as a Fuentes, right? It's called as a G.L. Fuentes, Fuentes. Now, let's say that it begins with the kind of idea that they say faith can move. Faith can move mountains. Yeah, it is true. So I I believe that what means a faith can move mountains. How faith can move mountains? Now, if you have a kind of a faith on something or someone, right? If you have a determination to get or achieve, right? So definitely in any of the manner, it reaches to you. And that is what called as a faith, to achieve that, believe to get that, right? So therefore, that may be anything. That may be anything like your determination to achieve that, or that your hope that somebody is exist, and if I do something, so definitely it reaches to him or her, and I'll receive whatever I convey. But what should we put our faith in? What should we put our faith in? This is the question the story delicately poses. Now, obviously, your faith is fine, but how you convey that faith, and what is the way, or what are the ways that you follow to fulfill your faith into reality. So here the story presents with what means couple of uh, couple of settings, and also are indicating about the settings, indicating about the plot, indicating about the characters, right? And uh, indicating about the style of writing. If you see that the story presents with the protagonist. So what do you mean by protagonist? The meaning of protagonist is called as a main character. So who is the main character? Lencho is the main character, right? Who is a farmer. So what happened to him? Now, the story gives us the idea that Lencho is a farmer, and what he does, now he writes a letter to whom? To God. Now, when somebody hears that, so somebody laughs on it, right? How come means somebody who is a farmer, he writes, and to whom he writes? He writes a letter to God. So why does he write that letter? Now, when his crops are ruined, when his crops are ruined means destroyed. So, and what does he ask to the God? Now he asked for nothing, 100 pesos. When you listen to this particular word called as a pesos, so obviously this is the kind of a currency which is reminded that this particular story has been taken from somehow called as a Great American, right? So from that particular areas, this story has been taken. So here the question is called as how much he asked for money. That's called as 100 pesos. So does Lencho's letter reach God? That is a question. So if he writes a letter and that letter he posted, so whether that letter reached to God or not. So does God send him the money or not? That's also a question, right? Think, if you look into the answer to this question, right, and guess how the story continues. So this is what the story outlines, where certain questions are left, and which you, after reading the story, we come to know, right? It's a simple story. A farmer is there whose name is called as Lencho, and what he does now, when his crops are ruined, so he sends a letter, he writes a letter to God, and means he asks in his letter that he needs 100 pesos, right? And the question comes out like whether he, those of the means demands that he want from God, so whether they fulfill or not, whether his letter reaches to God or not, whether means he gets any reply from that letter or not, or whether he receives whatever he demands in his letter, right? So obviously, if you look into that, you would find out the beginning of the story, and you know that in earlier times we used to means send letters, telegrams, all those things we do, because at during that period of time that the kind of a technology of that refers to the mobile phone, landline, all those things, right? Maybe the landline would be there, but not uh, mobile phone where mobile phone facility was not available, right? So let's begin the story and come to know that how the story means presents the idea about Lencho and his characteristic, and we come to know that how the author G.L. Fuentes means write this story, right, and his style of writing. So the story begins with the what? The house. So the house, the only one in the entire valley. So valley means obviously it is indicating about the mountainous area, right? Sat on the crest. So crest means called as a top of a hill. Wait a minute. Oh, just a minute. Sorry, my daughter cries, no, so that's why. Yeah, I was telling about that only. Uh, so what happened? So we come to know that means there is a house, right? So and the house is where now on the top of a hill, the only one in the entire valley. So sat on the crest means sat on the top of the hill, right? So of a low hill means it is somehow called as a group of hills are present, and among those of the hills, Lencho's house. So obviously, I pointed the name Lencho because the person was the head of the house. So his house was means on a low hill, and from this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe kern dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. If you talk about that, here the idea is stated that where his house was, from there he could see what? The river and the field of ripe kern. Ripe kern means the kern that into the level of what? Harvesting means cutting, or it is already in the form so that means harvested can be done, right? So the ripe kern means what? Kern is indicating as the means staple food of that particular area or that particular place. So means the river and the field of ripe kern dotted with the dotted means called as a marked or spotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. So once the means ripe kern is done, so it comes with the means flowers or marked with the flowers, which is the sign or indication of the good harvest. If anything bad is not happening, the only thing the earth needed. So it is the thought of the house or head of the house that what? Now the only thing the earth needed, what was the thing that the means earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. So here, here Lencho was expecting for a means heavy rainfall, that's called as a downpour, or at least a shower, if not the heavy rainfall, because it is the last time. Now his crop is already prepared. So what it needs nothing but a heavy rainfall or something called as a means little shower, or at least a shower. So out of these two means one if held, then means after that he can do the harvesting. Throughout the morning, Lencho. So it was a one of the day. So in the morning time, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So Lencho was, observing, noticing, and seeing the field. And Lencho also knew his fields intimately. Intimately means what? That's called as a very closely. Like we have close friends, we usually say that intimate friends. So similar to that means Lencho was very close to his means of fields. So he had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. So he was looking at the sky. Why he was looking at the sky? Now he was just expecting for a downpour or at least a shower from means to its earth. That's what it needs. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. So who is saying? Means Lecho is saying to whom? His wife. That what? Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper. So his wife was doing nothing but the food for the day, right? The woman who was preparing supper, so maybe called as it's a evening snacks, replied, yes, God willing. Yes, God willing means yes, if God wants. So the older boys were working in the field. So you also find out that Lencho have sons, right, who were working in the field, while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all. So the adults were working in the fields. So where whereas you will find out the smaller ones were playing near the house. So it means his sons. So the house until the woman called to them, come for dinner. So it was during the meal that just as Lencho had predicted. So as they sat for their meal, so what happened as Lencho was expecting or Lencho was predicting. So what happened? Big drops of rain began to fall. So in the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. So they could find out that the mountains of clouds, it means you are expecting for a downpour or called as at least a shower. But at the same time, when you find out that the mountains of cloud, so which could be seen approaching or which could be considered as a coming nearer. So the air was fresh, like before the beginning of the storm. We can say that the air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. The man, who is the man? Means Lencho. Lencho went out. Why? Not to get the means happiness, feel the rain of his body. His desire is getting fulfilled that he was expecting for a downpour or called as at least shower. Now the rain is approaching near to his earth. So when he returned, he exclaimed, when he returned, so when he came back to his house, he surprised with a kind of a sudden means surprising face or appearance. He said, these are not raindrops falling from the sky. These are not raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. Now, when you say that new coins, what do you mean by that? These are not raindrops falling from the sky. Please do understand that the meaning of this sentence is called as raindrops are comparing with the new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are fives. So now, as far as we understand that, means Lencho who was expecting for the means what do you say that big or heavy downpour or called as at least a shower. Now he realized that because of this downpour or shower, what happened means the big drops have been compared with the new coins, means they are considering as a 10-cent pieces, means they are going to give the benefit, because once the shower occur or means a heavy rainfall occurs, so his crops are going to his crops are going to fresh and also can be prosper or can be means produced more than earlier, right? So, or that they can be considering as a the at the last stage. So after that, they can be cut and also sold, right or not? So that is why he pointed that the big raindrops are compared with the 10-cent pieces and the little ones are fives. So big raindrops means referring to the rainwater has been compared with the 10-cent or fives, right? So this is something called as a metaphor. You can say that metaphor, which is called as a direct comparison. With a satisfied
And
expression, yeah.
comparison is simile.
How do you say that it is a simile? You are saying
No,
that the big, no, simile is
when it
called as
comes
a,
to that,
no, simile is something when you are saying that the big drops are like 10-cent pieces and the little ones are like fives. So when you are comparing means one object with the other, using with like or as can be called as a simile. But if they don't use with like or as, directly compared, it's called as a metaphor. Am I clear?
yes,
Ah. So with a satisfied expression. So who is satisfied here? Lencho. Lencho is full of satisfied appearance. He regarded, he considered the field of ripe corn with its flowers. So he was expecting that his field will cover with nothing but ripe corn with its flowers. So draped in a curtain means he covered himself, right? So he draped in a curtain of rain. So he covered himself means and went to, or he covered himself. Why does he cover? He covered because to save himself from rain. So he covered himself in a curtain of rain, but suddenly a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. Now, what do you expect? Now, you simply expected for the means downpour or shower, but means the the situation creates something else. It's called as a first it is a downpour. Second, it's called as it comes with a means strong wind. So and then after means rain, very large hailstones. Along with the rain, very large hailstones begin to fall. So means when you find out the wind, hailstones, so it means they are going to what? Now they're going to destroy. They're going to destroy whom? They're going to destroy the crop field. So therefore, these truly did resemble new silver coins. These truly did resemble the new silver coins means again you are comparing that because of the rain, big drop of rain is comparing with the 10 cent, right? And the small one or little one is comparing with fives. Now, because of the heavy storm and also hailstone, what happened? The perception was changed. So the perception made here was what? Now that's called as these hailstones and wind will definitely lead from 10 cent or one means 5 cent to silver coins. It means new coins is referring to the gold coins, and that gold coins change to silver coins. Now he is not going to get the profit. He has to means manage with means whatever he had. So the boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Now you understand that the meaning of frozen pearls means what? Now because of the those of the frozen pearls are called as a ice stone. Those ice stones are the region, or those ice stones are considered as the um, hailstone. So what do you mean by hailstone? The meaning of hailstone is called as ice stone, which were means of falling from the sky and destroying the crop field. So along with that, the heavy storm or called as a huge wind. So that actually tried to destroy the means crop field. So that Means so what happened? Means the boys are called as the sons of Lencho. So they simultaneously means went out, or at the same time they went out and they make themselves open and ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Now you know that during your childhood days when means ice stone fall from the sky, so we used to collect them. So the same thing also happened here. So these boys are also collecting the men's frozen pearls. It's really getting bad now, the man exclaimed. So Lincho was in a tense. So he was surprised and he was also presenting a kind of emotion and stating that it's really getting bad now. What is really getting bad now? Now that's called as a some means how the weather change its form. Like first it's a heavy rainfall, second it's a huge wind, and the third is called as a hailstorm. So his hope passes quickly. So he exclaimed, and then after he said, I hope it passes quickly. So I hope it passes quickly means it refers to the hailstorm, or called as a means a huge wind that may be the reason of its means a craft failed to destroy. So, but it did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house. The hail rained on the house means it continued for an hour. The garden, the hillside, the cornfield. So these are the places which are considered as the settings. So where means where the hail continuously spread, that's something called as a garden, the hillside, mountainous areas, the cornfield, the field that covers with the crop. So on the whole valley, it spreads. The field was white. So now when you say that, how come the field was white? Now here white is comparing with what? Comparing with the means salt, like the salt which looks white in color, similar to that the crop is filled with the white. It means the uh, you know hailstones are called as a ice stone, right? So which fall from the sky, cover the whole crop field or entire valley. So as if covered with the salt. So it seems like what the field was white. So as if covered with salt. So means the salt is exactly like the means color of the ice stone. So the whole crop field is covered with the salt, means looks covered with the ice stone, exactly like the salt is spread everywhere. Not a leaf remained on the trees. So it means what? The hailstones are called as a huge wind and heavy rainfalls means destroyed, destroyed the whole crop field, not even a leaf, not on a means not a leaf remained on the trees. It means everything. So those of the newly burned crop means a kern, as well as the leaves on the trees. So all things were fallen down, right, or destroyed or broken. So the kern was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. So Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. So what happened to him? So he was just expecting for a heavy rainfalls or at least a shower. But because of the hailstones and wind, means the whole crop field was gone or destroyed. So the flowers were gone from the plants, and uh, the crop field was also destroyed. So Lencho's soul was filled with the sadness. When the storm had passed, when the storm had passed, means after some time, what or it happens for 1 hour, and after 1 hour, when means the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons that what? A plague of locust, a plague of locust means yeah. So a plague of locust would have left more than this. Now, what do you mean by means a plague actually. When you are saying that plague means called as a cause, C-A-U-S-E. So a cause of locust infection. So locust is called as generally what happened when you have the plants, insects, and also means some of the other um, germs, right? So which actually affecting to the plants and means destroy your plants. So, but here what happened? Here the whole weather condition that refers to the heavy rainfalls, hailstones, and huge wind destroy his craft. So therefore, the thought here presented that a cause of locust, it means even an insect which fly in big group or big swarms. So they also destroy crops, but they leave some things. They leave something to, use purpose. But here, this hailstone has destroyed, not leave a single thing to means usable purpose. So that is what means who said means Lencho said that a cause of locust would have left more than this. So locust is called as insects or called as that fly in a big group. So can destroy the crop field, but they also leave something. But the weather comes with a hailstorm and huge wind, destroy everything, not keep a thing to usable purpose. So the hell has left nothing. The hell means referring to the hailstone, ice stone that continuously pour down for an hour and that destroyed the whole crop field, even the huge wind. This year we will have no curd. It means they're going to stay hungry. So because no production, no harvesting, so they cannot survive for a year. So that night was a sorrowful one for whom? To the entire family. Like for the Lencho a lot. For Lencho a lot. That night was a sorrowful or sadness for the family. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We will all go hungry this year. Now, as far as if you observe the sentences which are stating that means he was sad that night and he was talking about that all our work for nothing. It means the wind and the hailstone destroyed the crop field. So that's why means nothing is left. So and their work throughout the year come with useless, right? Second is called as they leave on the top of the hill. So only one family who live on the top of the hill. So that's why no neighbor is left here to help him. So they will all go hungry that year. So that is what he pointed. Am I clear? Means what's your name?
Yes, sir.
Understood completely?
Yeah.
Okay.
So still in some parts I'm like means how the when the weather changed, he was thinking that it will not harm his crops.
Ah,
It was,
yeah.
but after that, what happened that the means I'm still confused. Actually, what happened after that?
It shows that you are not listening. Are you?
Yeah.
So what happened here? Let me point out. Let's go for the look into it. What does it say? Here it is stated that Lencho had predicted big drops of rain begin to fall. So in the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. So he was expecting for what? He was expecting for big drops of rain, isn't it? What
Yes,
he
sir.
what he is expecting for? He is expecting for big drops of rain. Am I clear now? So, but what happened? So he found the air was fresh and sweet. The man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. So he also felt that um, obviously rain will help, and that's why he is very happy for that. Are you listening to me? Okay. So, and when he returned, he exclaimed that these are not raindrops falling from the sky. It means rain started.
Yeah.
Rain started. So he felt very happy that what? Now, these are not falling from the sky. They are new coins. What do you mean by they are new coins? It means they are called as gold coins. For him, they are gold coins. How they are gold coins? Now, because when rain occurs, it means his production will also held in a well manner, isn't it? Because it is at the last stage. So he needs only means a downpour or at least a shower. If that happens, what will happen? Now his crops will prosper. His crops will prosper. Prosper means produce in a large manner, right? So because it is the last stage. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So he is expecting for what? He is expecting for at least a shower or a big means a downpour. So finally he compares that means big drops are comparing with 10-cent pieces and little ones are fives. So it means 10-cent and 5-cent are called as a miserable term of showing benefits, right? It means if heavy rainfalls occur, so that will lead to a good amount of production of crops. So that is why big drops are comparing with 10-cent pieces and the little ones are comparing with fives. After that, it is stated uh, that what? With a satisfied expression. Now you understand that he is satisfied. Why he is satisfied? That he was expecting for the rain and the rain occurred. So he considered the field of ripe corn with its flowers, right, which is covered in a curtain of rain. So draped in a curtain of a rain means what? Now that's called as the flowers which were means which were coming out of that plant. So they are helping to cover. They are helping to cover whom? They are helping to cover those of the kern. Am I clear? Like the you can say that raincoat that covers the body, similar to that the flowers in the tree or flowers in the plant, right, covers the kern. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and it is also stated that, so how it covers? It covers like a cloth, right? So, but suddenly, but, but it's showing contrast that everything is going well. But suddenly what happened? A strong wind. This is one of the reason. Second is called as means the rain, very large hailstones. It means you can say a strong wind and hailstones means they are adding with the rain. Am I clear? So I just expect for rain, but with rain I find out the strong wind and hailstone. Hailstone means what? That called as ice stone. Am I clear? So raindrops can help me to means prosper my crops, right? But the strong wind and hailstones. The strong wind and hailstone means that's called as a strong wind can break your stem of the plant or called as a destroy your crop field, and hailstone can means also destroy your crop fields. Yes or no?
Yeah.
So that is why these two begin to help and fall also severely. And finally, what it resembles? Now, for Lencho, it resembles new silver coins, right? This truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. So what do you mean by frozen pearls? Now these frozen pearls are considered as the hellstone. Hellstone means what? That's called as a something which is badly affecting to your plans, right? That's called as a stone. And here the stone is referring to ice stone that fall from the sky, isn't it? You understand? Kua pathar jo ame kahu? Huh? Okay. So now you understand which one is the region of destroying the crop field? Which one is the region of destroying the crop field? Hailstones, and here that's called as a strong wind. A strong wind and hailstones are the region of destroying the crop fields, right? So that is what. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. Any other doubts you have?
No.
Okay. What happened? You look sad? Sure? Okay. Now, I'll just put some question before you. Can you can you try to give these questions answer? The first question, what did Lencho have hope for? What did Lencho hope for?
The rain will not. Rain will not drop.
Sorry? I cannot hear you.
Rain will
properly.
not destroy the crop.
Lencho hope for not to means the rain would not yeah. Lencho hope for not to destroy. Rain will not destroy his. Rain would not
Crop.
crop field.
Yeah. So your voice is breaking. Like,
My voice is breaking? No. So Lencho was expecting.
sir? What?
My voice is breaking?
So your voice. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah. Now it's good.
Am I visible?
Means your yeah, you are visible, but your voice is cracking again.
My voice is
Means-
breaking?
Yeah. Now it came good.
Okay. So, yes, my question was what Lencho was hoping for.
Again, sir. Sir, again, it's breaking.
I did not say anything. Do you hear
But
me?
why it was like that? So just a minute. Your sound system is getting cracked. So now can you speak?
Hello?
Yeah. So I think I was having the problem. I was connected with the other network.
Very good. Very good. So that's what it is stated. Yeah. So what?
So you're asking something?
Huh?
You're asking no?
So what Lencho was hoping for?
Means he was hoping for means his this rain will not destroy his crops.
Okay.
Will help in growing the it will help in the growth of growing of crops.
See, I hope it passes quickly. So, what passes quickly? So, what was Lencho hoping for? Lencho was hoping for that the bad weather means passes the means the bad weather will pass, or called as a bad weather would pass quickly. That's what he hopes for, right? What does he hope for? He hopes for the bad weather will pass quickly. Am I clear? Okay. Now the next question, What did Lencho say? The raindrops were like new coins. What did Lencho say? The raindrops were like new coins.
Because means
Raindrops. Like he
because
pointed, no? Lencho said that the raindrops were like new coins. He wanted to point out that the big drops of rain is indicating to the 10
would
cents,
have
whereas the means a little drop of means a rainwater is called comparing with the 5 cents.
like,
So those new coins means referring to the gold coins, which will be beneficial for him, right? So the crops need water. The crops need heavy downpour, or called as at least a shower that could make the means make the crops to harvest, right? So that's why he was just expecting for the heavy rainfalls, and that's why the big drops have been compared with the new coins. So new coins means referring to the benefits that he was getting, right, or he would be getting. That's what he noted. Third, how did the rain change?
the rain changed into hailstones. Means as a strong wind began to means blow and huge rainstorms began to fall along with the rain.
Yeah, so we can say that the rain changed suddenly, right? With the rain means uh, heavy windfall, and hailstones have fallen from the sky, right? So, which is one of the surprising part of the means whom Lencho. So, what happened to Lencho's field? So, Lencho's field was completely destroyed, right?
Of the
Now, 4. What were Lencho's feeling when the hail stopped?
wind says everything was wind and there was nothing means everything was wind and there was nothing that there was nothing for so that he can feed his family.
So he pointed that no one is there to help him. The crops were destroyed. So all their work throughout the year means went vain, when means useless, right? And they were going to stay hungry for the in the future, right? So those are the things which he pointed. Okay, so can you let's see that it's a 457. Okay, let's see that more two are there. So I think next class we will be able to complete. Okay, just some questions for you. I just want to ask you: have you understood the whole statement, or the whole text,
Yeah.
whatever I taught? Okay. My first question is called as uh, what is the name of a writer?
I forgot again. It was so give me the options. I'll just say.
Is it G.L. Fuentes? Fuentes. G.L. Fuentes. Right. G.L. Fuentes.
Yeah, JL something.
Okay. G.L. Fuentes. Fuentes. Now the second question for you. What is the meaning of crest? CREST. What is the
Means
meaning
like
of crest?
means like the mountain. Means the top of the mountain or hill.
Sorry, what is the meaning of crest?
Top of the mountain or hill.
Top of the mountain. Okay. The next one. Nature, Sabu nature. Nature. Oh. What is the okay? Next question for you is called as a means can you tell me means what was draped? What was draped?
What was covered?
Yeah, draped means covered. What was draped?
Means it was just draped with the ripe
So the
ripe corn.
flowers, the yellow flowers draped the kern like a curtain, like a
Cotton of,
curtain. Yeah.
yeah, cotton.
So like the body is covered with the shirt, similar to that the kerns were means covered with the flower, right? To to save from the rain. Okay. So fine. What is the meaning of locust?
The locker. I mean, it is like okay. Just tell me the sentence. I forgot. What was the sentence?
Locust. So Lencho said that means even the locust could save, even the locust would save something
Yeah,
for the family.
uh, that's an insect. That's an insect. You can destroy crops.
Locust is called as the swarm of insect that attack to the means a plant and destroy. But at the same time, they also leave something for the future. Okay. So that is the reason I taught you half of the things first, so that you must be clarified with the certain things given into it, right? Your beginning must be with the excellence so that your ending will be also excellent, right?
Yeah.
Once I'll teach you, then you will remember forever. Clear? Okay. So we'll meet in the next class. Till then, bye-bye. Thank you. So will you be okay with Monday 2 to 3 or Tuesday 2 to 3 or afternoon time or morning time?
Yeah, means till the summer vacations, it is okay.
Okay. So please send me your time on Monday and Tuesday. If I find out that's suitable, then I'll do the class of yours. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye. Okay. So, yep. So last class, we just started with the topic called as a letter to God, where we came to know that the main character of this story is Lencho, a farmer. So second thing is called as a means it is a kind of a story of on the basis of belief uh, or extreme belief, and it tries to give us the idea about how faith can move mountains, right? That is what we can find out the theme of this particular story. So far we have read that what now how Lencho, who was living at the valley areas, it seems like it is the kind of a story which setting is taken place in the Latin America, right? So specifically in the mountainous areas, means we find out that how Lencho, whose family settled in nowhere on the top of the mountain, right? And they do have a means crop field, which is not very far from the mountainous area, so that can be easily identified or easily means visible when standing on the top of the mountain. So one day when Lencho was just observing or noticing or just seeing the just seeing that crop field, at the same time he found that what his crops are um, in the last stage and they are going to be harvested, but Lencho wanted for that means Lencho wanted nothing but the rain. So he believed that the rain that could held in a downpour or in an excessive manner, or at least a shower. And on the means on the basis of that, you would find out that he wished for it, and his wish got fulfilled. And immediately he find out that the sky that covers with the mountainous cloud and that poured a heavy rain. And he believed that those heavy rain are nothing but is the symbol of new coins, 10 cent, and small drop of water is also indicating to the, what do we say, that 5 cent. But suddenly his thought or his wish that went into the vein, that when he found out that severe rain with, along with that huge wind also means hailstorm that also covered, right? And because of that, just a minute. Hello. Nine. Thank you. So so that's what he wished for, but he did not wish for the heavy wind or called as a hailstorm. And hailstorm that forms in the big, or called as a big ice stone that covered his craft field. And after some time, or after an hour, his craft field covered with the ice stone seems like salt presence everywhere. It seems like his craft field is completely in a white, and he realizes that his craft field was completely destroyed, and he felt very sad. Even he considered that, or he felt that what now the locust of the locust, or the cause of locust would not, the cause of locust would not destroy the crop field in such a manner, the way heavy wind and what do we say, that this hailstorm destroy his crop field. So his comparison, hailstorm, and you can say that huge wind with the locust, or cause of locust. Cause of locust means insecticides. So, and he believes that the locust, or the cause of locust would not harm to the crop in the kind of a manner the hailstorm and huge wind did it. So he felt very sad, and he realized that that year they are going to stay hungry, right? Up to which we have taught. Yeah. So now move to the next one. So the next one is stated, but in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house, but in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary means called as a isolate, right? Lonely house, locate on the top of the mountain. But in the hearts of all who lived in that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope. So everybody in the family has a hope. What is that hope? Now the hope is called as a help from God. So they all believe that God will save them. So don't be so upset. Don't be so upset, even though this seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger, right? So if you see that, means Lencho was saying that not to be upset. So this seems like a total loss. We find out the huge loss is present, but at the same time, Lencho also believes that means we will not stay hunger that year. And that's what they say. No one dies of hunger. All through the night, Lencho thought only of his one hope. So what was that hope? The hope is called as a God will save his family. So whose eyes, as he had been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one's conscience. Lencho was an ox. Lencho was an ox means Lencho was exactly like means hard-working person. So and he he believed that he came into the world for working purpose, right? And that's why Lencho was considering as an ox, and he knew that which one is a good and which one is bad. So working like an animal in the field. So Lencho was working. How? Now he was working like an animal in the field. But still, he knew how to write. So here the writer G.L. Quintos, so who pointed that means what was Lencho actually? So Lencho was considered or compared with the ox, right? With an ox, and he was hardworking like an animal in the fields, but at the same time, he knew some of the means he knew what he knew how to write. The following Sunday, so that day, the following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter. Who began to write a letter? Means Lencho. Lencho started writing. So when he started writing on the following Sunday, on that day, right? So this gave us the idea that Sunday was the holiday, and specifically this Latin American people used to go to church, right? So, and he wrote what? He wrote the letter at daybreak, means when the day was uh, going to end, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. So means that day means Sunday. Sunday he went to play. Means he went to post that letter. He wrote that letter. He wrote that letter to the God, and he decided to go to post office. So the following set at daybreak means he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. So it was nothing less than a letter to God. So what was that letter? The letter was nothing but a letter to God. God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. So he requested in that letter. What did he write? He wrote that, hey God, if you don't help us, my family and I will go hungry that year. I need 100 pesos. Now, please do understand that. Uh, Prince, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So here peso is the word which is clearly indicating here that what? Now peso is the currency of several Latin American countries. So this gives us the clear idea that the setting takes place in Latin America. Right.
But
Hello?
this is not.
Your voice is
Before I think it was peso, but before it was peso, but now it is dollar, no?
see, as you find out the story on the basis of the past, right? Not in the present. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again. So in order to sow my field again means in order to get back the normalcy in my get back the normalcy. Normalcy means normal situation in my field again, and to leave until the crop comes. So with that 100 pesos, I will survive, sustain, and my until my crops come back. So why now? Because the hailstorm. What do you mean by because the hailstorm? Because the hailstorm destroy all the things, or the hailstorm destroyed my crop fields. He wrote. He wrote what? No, he wrote the address to whom means or the receiver's address. Who is the receiver's address? To God. He wrote to God on the envelope. Put the letter inside that envelope and still find out the problems or difficulties. He went to town. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter and dropped it into the mailbox. So now here you find out means Lencho decided to sent the letter to God. He wrote on the envelope that his letter is for the God or to God, and he put the stamp and dropped it into the mailbox. So the author stated again that one of the employees who was a postman and also helped at the post office. So he went to his boss, laughing heartily, and showed him the letter to God. So means he put the letter inside the mailbox, and then after he leaving, so means there was another employee who was a postman and also means working as a clerk in the post office. He went to his boss and with a laughing heartily, that excessive laughing, he showed him the letter to God. Never in his career as a postman, he had known that address. He did not know that address, but he laughed on that letter. So the postmaster of fat. Who is the postmaster? The postmaster is a fat, amiable. Fat, amiable. Amiable means called as a friendly. A fat, amiable, amiable fellow also broke out laughing. So he also means broke out means what? He laughed a lot, but almost immediately he turned serious. Who turned serious? Not that fellow, but almost immediately he turned serious. Who turned serious? That the postmaster, and tapping the letter on his desk. So keeping the letter on his desk, he ordered or he commented, what a faith, or what faith? It means he was surprised that he wished he had the faith of the man who wrote this letter. So he saluted Lencho for his extreme belief to the God, that even he wrote a letter to God for getting 100 pesos. So on the basis of that amazement, he wished he had the faith of the man who wrote this letter, and starting up with a correspondence with God. So starting up with a correspondence, or starting up a correspondence with God means what? Means Lencho wanted the reply letter from the God, and at the beginning of the stage, what did he do? He wrote a letter to God. So in order not to shake the writer's faith in God, so the postmaster who found the letter where Lencho had asked for 100 pesos, right? So what the postmaster did? Now the postmaster at first laughed, but later he believed that the kind of a extreme belief towards God make the writers to believe also or faith in God. The postmaster came up with an idea. What is that idea? Now the idea is called as to answer the letter, right? To answer the letter. So the letter was sent to God, but means here the postmaster decided to answer the letter. But when he opened it means when he opened the letter, it was sure that to answer it, he needed something more than goodwill. So obviously, what happened means once he found the letter, he opened it and he realized that the letter demanded something else or something more than only replying the letter. Beside replying the letter, you have to also pay something or extra thing. So that is why he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. So not only he had to send a positive ideas or positive information to Lencho, he also needed means penny or pesos to send him, right? That is what called as a more than goodwill. More than goodwill means not only saying positive ideas, but also helping financial assistance. But he stuck to his resolution. but he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money. He stuck to his resolution means what? He wanted to help whom? He wanted to help means Lencho. So that is why he was determined to help Lencho. So he asked for money from his employees. So what did he do? Now he asked money to the employees, and he himself also gave his part of means his salary. And several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. So everybody felt very happy that what? Now they gave some part of their help to the to whom? To Lencho, or to reply the Lenchos later. So, and they believe that they did nothing but they did an act of charity. What they did? Now, they did nothing but an act of charity. It was an act of charity. It was impossible for him means referring to, it was impossible for him to gather together the 100 pesos. So the postmaster could not gather such a huge amount. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. Little more than half means called as means 100 pesos, half is called as a 50, and little more than half is called as a 70. He put the money in an envelope addressed to Lencho, and with it a letter also in means contained. Letter also means contained, and in that letter it is written a single word. What is that? Na God. So this is the way through which means the postmaster helped whom? Helped the farmer Lencho. Am I clear so far? Hitesh, am I clear so far?
Hello. So can you listen to me? Hello, 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 hello.
Yeah,
Hello,
hello.
sir.
Am I audible
Yes.
to you?
Yeah. Sir, am I audible to you properly?
Your voice is audible to me. Clear? Understood?
Yeah.
Hey, understood or not?
Yes, sir. I told this 8 times.
Okay. Now, let's move to the third unit of it, or third part of it. So you understood that the postmaster replied to the letter and only written or only mentioned God, only mentioned the signature God. And in that letter, he gave some kind of a help. Now, what happened in the next unit or next part? Now, the following Sunday, what happened? Lencho came a bit earlier. So the following Sunday means what? This Sunday he wrote the letter, sent it to God, right? And put it in email. The following Sunday means after that, the next Sunday, Lencho came a bit earlier than usual. To ask if there was a letter for him. If there was a letter for him. So obviously you could identify that why he came in the Sunday time. Now because means Sunday he goes to church, and that's why means by going to church he also goes to means the post office. So as it is a Latin America, so we can believe that they do have open their post offices in Sunday times. So it was the postman himself who handed the letter to him. It was the postman himself who what he did. Now he gave the letter to means the old man Lencho, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed. So the postmaster experiencing the contentment. Contentment means what? That's called as a satisfaction. So the postmaster felt satisfaction because why? Because he helped the man, and also contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office, right? Looked on from his office. So means the postmaster was looking looking to uh, his the postman as well as Lencho, and found that found satisfaction that the man has done a good deed or good achievement, and he looked down from his office. Lencho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Now you will be amazed that he asked for 100 pesos, and when he received the reply, right, he did not get surprised by seeing the money inside it. So such was his confidence. Means you could amaze that to find out. Means you sent a letter to God and you reply to that particular letter, and you are not getting surprised. It means God is something which is what now, which he is so sure that God will write a letter or reply a letter to him. So such kind of a confidence he had, but he became angry. Who became angry? Means Lencho. So when he counted the money, so means he opened the envelope and he counted the money. So God could not have made mistakes. So she believed that, or she felt that, means there was a certain mistake occurred in age, means on age money. What is that? Now he asked for 100 pesos. How could God give him 70 pesos? That's why she believed that, or sorry, he believed that rest of the money might have taken by these post office people. So that's why he said that God could not have made a mistake, nor could he have denied Lencho what he had requested. So here two things happen. One is called as a God did not make mistake. That is the kind of a belief Lencho had. Second is called as a means Lencho also did not means hear anything from the God that God is not ready to pay the money. Immediately Lencho went up to the window. So where did Lencho go? Now Lencho went up to the window. Why? Not to ask for paper and ink, means he wanted to write another letter. So to ask for paper and ink, on the public writing table, he started to write with much wrinkling of his brow. So it seemed like he was very old, and that is caused by the effort he had to make to express his ideas. So he wanted to write whatever his mind thinks. When he finished writing later, he went to the window. Why? Not to buy a stamp. So he went to a particular window where the stamps are available. So he collect one of the he collect one of the stamp, and which he licked. Licked, you understand? That's something called as to get water into it or onto it, and then affixed. Affixed means attached. Attached to where? Now attached to the envelope. So it means he sent the first letter, and this one is called as the second letter, right? And in the first letter, he asked for 100 pesos, and he got nothing but 70 pesos. And he believed that the God cannot make any kind of error. So that's why immediately go and write the another letter. So, and what did he do? He put the envelope with a blow of his fist. So, or called as a, and then affixed. Affixed means fixed the stamp. Fix the stamp on the envelope with a blow of fist, like this, blow, severe, strong hit, strong of his fist. The moment the letter fell into the mailbox. So, and then after, what did he do? Now he took the letter and put it into the mailbox. The postmaster went to open it. So the postmaster wanted to know what was the reaction and what means what Lencho would do. So it said, so the moment the letter fell into the mailbox, right, the postmaster went to open it. So the postmaster immediately go and open the that mailbox, and he found Lencho's writing or Lencho's letter. And in that Lencho's letter, what are the things written? So on that it is written, it said, God of the money, God of the money. So it means he conveyed the message to God that his matter is relating to the money that he asked for. So he asked for how much? Now 100 pesos. Only 70 pesos reached me. So he blamed to means he blamed or he showed or he requested God that what? Now he asked for 100 pesos, but what happened? Means only 70 pesos reached to him. And that's why he also said, send me the rest. He also requested God that I have requested for 100 pesos, but he found only 70 pesos. And that's why he asked whom? He asked the God that what? Now God of the money that I asked for only 70 pesos reached me, send me the rest since I needed very much. So he requested also to the God that he needed money very much. But he needed money from the God very much. But he also said that what? Now do not send it to me through the mail. So he pointed God that what? Now you send me the money, but don't send me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks. So he believed that the means employees who are working in the post office, they are all betraying or infidelity in nature. So that's what Lencho believed. So this is the story which is clearly highlighting about Lencho's extreme belief and also stating that what uh, what is the main idea. The main idea started from means started from Lencho's belief to God, right? And how was his belief turns into reality. Second is called as we understood that the postmaster helped Lencho in his needy time, but at the same time, Lencho was the only person means who uh, Lencho was the person who means considered these post office employees are bunch of brooks. Bunch of brooks means what? Crooked people who cheated him. So he believed that God had given 100 pesos, but these people took 300 rupee, 300 pesos from each complete money. So that is why he requested the letter again to God, and he requested for means uh, send the rest of the money to him, but not through the post office, but in a different manner. That's what we can draw in this particular story. Am I clear? Any doubt or any query that you would like to ask me?
Actually, so here the question is why the the Lencho wrote the letter on Sunday, as he submitted on Monday, but why he wrote on Sunday?
So, can you make it little louder? Why does
Means
the
Lencho.
postmaster send money to Lencho? Why
No,
does
no, no, not that one. The Lencho submitted the mail.
where is the question?
No, I'm asking Lenzo submitted the letter on Monday, but why he wrote it in Sunday?
How do you know that he means submitted in Monday?
That is given,
Where is it written? Where is it written? Where it is written?
Just a minute of telling.
Louder. Can you
I'm
show me
telling,
where
sir,
it's
just a minute. Sir, just search Monday. So Sunday.
ah, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday is given.
Yeah, the following Sunday at means if there was a letter for him.
The following Sunday at daybreak. The following Sunday at daybreak. Daybreak means you can say that afternoon time.
Yeah. Down and place.
Where it
So
is
in the
given.
afternoon, and in the afternoon time, Sunday is a holiday. Sunday is a holiday. So why he wrote this in Sunday?
Why?
Sir, Sunday is a holiday for the post office also. So he will submit this on Monday.
See, the thing is that the post office where he went means it functions, right? Second thing is called as we were talking about not India, we were talking about Latin America, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
So how do you draw that? Means in Latin America, Sunday is the day when post offices are closed.
Everywhere Sunday is a holiday. No?
Array, how do you draw that it's a holiday? So you are living in a where? India or Latin America? You are living in means India or Latin America?
India.
Then how do you know that in Latin America in Sunday is a holiday?
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Understood the whole story?
Yes, sir.
So what we will do, I'll do one thing.